Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life According to Nikki. You guys, I have the biggest smile on my face right now. I am feeling exuberant, exhilarated. What's another adjective? I don't know. I'm feeling really good. Is what I'm trying to go for here. I'm feeling cheerful. I've got a pep in my step. I just got back from Bali. I know, incredible. I'm going to tell you all about it. My friends, they went home very sadly, but they were here for 2 weeks from Utah, and that just rejuvenated me. That gave me a new life. I was filled to my brim, spilling over with just pure bliss, happiness. Again, think of some more adjectives that are more creative than the ones I can come up with. That's what I'm feeling. And I have so many things to say. I have so many topics to cover. And I have nothing but time because guess what? I'm on a break. Not from a relationship, don't you worry. I'm still not in one. That break has been very permanent for a long time. But we're talking from school because that's the current relationship I'm in. And I am on a month-long sabbatical. No classes. I'm actually really excited for the classes that I'm going to have for the second semester. Let's chit chat about those. There's just so many great things on the agenda for today. So let's get to it, shall we? Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that. Up first, let's talk about what I did in Bali, because this is going to bleed into our beginning section of movies and TV quite beautifully. So, my friends came to visit, Jatil and Mickey. Oh, I love them so much. As you'll recall from a few episodes ago, Jatil has come to every single country that I've lived in, and Mickey has been to all but the first one. So they really are just the greatest friends that anyone could ever ask for. And that's not to say that anyone who doesn't come see me, isn't a good friend. That's not what I'm saying. But it really is remarkable to me that my friends were so willing to come all this way, give up, their PTO to travel all this way just to come see me. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. It filled my soul, you guys. It was amazing. For the first week, we just hung around Perth and kind of went all over. We went to see How to Train Your Dragon, the new one. Well, the live action version. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I loved it. And I've always been a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon, the animated series. I mean, it's a trilogy. Hiccup is by far the greatest, what is that, hot escalation? What is the word? When they start off kind of not good looking and then they just, a glow up. Wow. Thank you for coming on that journey with me to get to that word. A glow up. Okay, best glow up in animated history is Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon, okay? Don't be weird about it, but we all know that we have crushes on animated characters, okay? Don't make it into something it's not. And Hiccup in the later versions is absolutely one of my top crushes when it just comes to just crushes in general. It doesn't matter that he's animated. It literally does not matter. Okay, Jack Frost is also on that list from the... what is it? Guardians of the... not Galaxy. Guardians of something. Has a tooth fairy in it. You know what I'm talking about. If not, it'll be on the Instagram. Probably. I don't know. I've been really bad at posting on the Instagram. Sorry about that. But you know what? I've been busy, as we well know. And until this is a paid thing, it is what it is. Well, anyways, How to Train Your Dragon, back to the main point that I was trying to make here, was so good. You guys have to go see it. If you've never seen How to Train Your Dragon before, I'm actually jealous that this is going to be your introduction, because I kind of wished I'd never seen it before and this was my very first time. They really did just copy and paste the animated version, but then they added just a few extra elements that were so great. A little bit more of a background on some of the side characters just for us to understand their motivation a little bit more, but it didn't take away from the main story. And I liked that it was so similar to the first one to the animated version, because the animated version really is perfection. It is so, so cute. It's so good. I loved it. So I'm excited about the live action 2 and 3 that's going to come out, which is saying a lot because this is the first live action that I've actually approved of since the live action Cinderella, which, as we know, was not made by Disney. So this is the first, like, Disney thing that has been produced live action-wise that I can get behind. Everything else, throw that in the garbage. Bob Iger, stop. Just stop. Period. Just enough with the Marvel, with the things. I don't even want to go see the new one with Florence Pugh. I don't. There's zero desire in me, even though I know Florence Pugh is such a good actress and the trailer was like somewhat okay, but I just know it's gonna be so lackluster and dumb that I don't want to see it. Anything after Endgame, with the exception of Spider-Man Homecoming, that's the one where it's like the Spider-Verse thing with all the Spider-Mans. Everything besides that is stupid. And I think that they should have ended it with Endgame. That was such a beautiful ending. Why are we continuing? Some things are meant to end, okay? That's what makes them beautiful, is that they're finite. Okay, I think I've talked about this before, so we're going to move on. My ranking or rating for How to Train Your Dragon, honestly, I'm going to give it, on my own scale, 8.5 out of 10. Maybe even a 9. I need to see it at least twice before I can give something like a 9 off the bat, I feel like. But it was so good, and I already want to see it again. So, tentative 9 out of 10. And then the public scale, 8 out of 10 for sure. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would love to give it higher, but there are people as judgmental as me that just hate everything. So I don't know, I guess there'll be some people that don't like it. But I think the majority, I think 80% of people will absolutely love How to Train Your Dragon. So that is the rating I am going with. Other movies that I watched with my friends. We watched the Hannah Montana movie and the Lizzie McGuire movie. Ugh, absolute classics. So good. I mean, so iconic. Sing to me, Paolo. There is nothing that just hits quite like the old Disney stuff before it went really stupid. I was talking to Jatil and Mickey about this, where I was like, is it just us because we grew up with Disney that we somehow think it's better than it is? But here's what the diagnosis we came up with is, okay? Old Disney, we're talking like Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place, That's So Raven, like that Disney Channel at its peak. Also Victorious, if we're going the Nickelodeon route. The actors on that show were really authentic. I mean, yes, there is a level of cheesiness to it and stuff that when watching it as an adult, it's like, oh, okay. But there is an authenticity to the acting, and it feels more organic. It feels better. The writing is funnier. It's more, I think, quick-witted and not just like stupid humor. Whereas the actors and stuff now, especially, I think it started with like Jessie, Dog with a Blog, Good Luck Charlie. So sorry if you can hear the stupid raven out my window. If it sounds like a crying baby, it's the bird out my window. But anyways, those Disney Channel shows that were coming a little bit later, the acting is so forced. Like, you can tell that these kids are acting. There's not, like, good child actors anymore on Disney. Is Disney Channel even a thing anymore? Is that? It's gotta be, right? Disney Channel? I don't even know. But that's what we determined, was the acting caliber has definitely been lowered, and they're just not as good now. So you can't even watch them to be mildly entertained, whereas we can still watch the Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place, that kind of stuff to be entertained. Even though it's cheesy, it's not bad. You know what I mean? So we watched the Hannah Montana movie and the Lizzie McGuire movie, and they just, so great. It was so delightful, so fun. a giggly good time. You know what? They are forever going to be entertaining to me. I absolutely love those films. I don't think I can rate them just because... Okay, maybe I'll try. For my scale, I'm going to give them both a 7 out of 10. I mean, they're just so solid. I'll just rewatch them till the end of time. For the general public, if you've never seen them before ever, I would maybe do a 6 out of 10. If you're going to watch those for the first time, you need to do it with someone that grew up with them, because they're going to really make or break that experience for you. If you're just, alone in your room and you're like, I've never seen the Lizzie McGuire movie, I don't think it's going to hit the same as it would with someone who was like, this was my childhood. Or for me, the Hannah Montana movie, the cowboy in that movie was my screensaver for like at least half a year. So I was very invested in that Hannah Montana movie. All right? I would have kept her secret. Other movies that I watched in the last few weeks, on the way to Bali, I downloaded The Accountant on Amazon Prime because I saw that The Accountant 2 had come out, and I was curious, so, I figured I'd start up at the top. It was interesting. I haven't seen the second one yet, so I'm gonna wait until I watch the second one to really judge the entire thing, because it was good, but it also didn't go anywhere. It was all a setup for the second movie. So it had Anna Kendrick in it, and, oh gosh, what's his name? Ben Affleck? Is that Jennifer Garner's ex-husband? Oh yeah, Ben Affleck. Oh yeah, did him and J-Lo get divorced? I don't know. Anyways, that's who it has in it. It was good. It's an action movie, so, I'm not super into those because I just can't get past the point that they're being shot at and, not a single bullet is hitting them. Really? That's a machine gun. You're one person in an open field. Like, what? Not a single bullet is hitting you? You're jumping through a window full of glass. You have, like, a small cut under your chin, under your eye, barely bleeding. You're in a fist hand-to-hand combat. You're, like, pounding each other in the face. You haven't broken a jaw? Please. One solid punch to the face can shatter not only a jaw, but the hand of the person who punched you. Okay, like, hand-to-hand combat, we're not built for that as humans. That can really, really mess you up. Do I know anything about hand-to-hand combat? No, but I know that. I do know that. So, I don't know, maybe my jujitsu people can tell me that. But no, that's not what they're doing. They're just, like, punching each other. They're not doing jujitsu over here. Alright, where am I going with this? I don't know. The Accountant, I watched it. I'm going to withhold my rating until I watch the second one. I also watched on the plane ride over there, My Old Ass. Let me make sure that name's correct. I'm actually realizing in this moment that I didn't finish it. I still have 20 minutes left. But I really was enjoying it. So I'm going to finish that one and also hold my rating. But so far, I think it's going to get a very solid rating. It's a coming-of-age story, which that is one of my absolute favorite genres. I love a coming-of-age. And this one was quite cute and creative. It also has Aubrey Plaza in it. She's from Parks and Rec. She plays Andy's girlfriend. Oh, what's her name in that? Oh, I don't remember. She's the one that's, like, mean and, like, very just, like, dry humor. Everyone's kind of scared of her. Yeah, Aubrey Plaza. I really like her. So she's in it, and it seems to be really good. But I need to finish it, I'm realizing, and I will let you know if it's worth the watch. It's an indie film, so if you're not into that, I don't think it's going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I've been enjoying it. And now we're going to move on to books, which also coincides with how Bali was. Okay, we're going to tell this story in multiple directions. So let's back up really quick. My friends and I were in Perth, Australia for about a week. We went around and went to a wildlife park. We know how I feel about animals. If you're unfamiliar, I think it's like my second episode that I discuss my dislike of the animal kingdom. They're fine. They're whatever. I don't want to touch them. I don't want to go look at them. But I'm fine to do that if I love you and that's your thing. Which Jatil and Mickey are big animal lovers. So we went to this koala park where you could hold koalas before you even ask. No, I did not hold a koala. I didn't want to. I was good. I was fine, actually. I don't need the photo. Because the photo would just be nothing but a lie. If you see a photo of me holding a koala or any animal of any kind other than like a puppy, just know I'm lying to you. Like that photo's catfishing you into thinking, I don't know, that I like that, because I don't. A little puppy, okay, those are kind of adorable, but it's not worth the itchy eyes and sneezing and the stuffed nose that I'm about to have. Even with the allergy meds, it's not worth it to me. I don't care enough. I don't want to touch an animal. I don't. It's just the truth. I fed a kangaroo. Well, I attempted to feed a kangaroo. I finally was like, oh, okay, you guys are making it look kind of adorable. I'll put a piece of popcorn in my hand. So I bent down, squatted to feed this kangaroo. Immediately got terrified. Like, it comes towards me with its little mouth, and I drop the popcorn immediately. I have a little video of me, like, trying, and then I was like, oh, my bad. I, like, pick it back up, try again, and I was like, no, I'm not made to interact with Mother Nature in that way. Right? I'll go stand maybe in the woods. No, I just don't like the outdoors. I like a beach. I'll go lay on a beach somewhere. Maybe in the mountains in a cabin. But the dirt, hiking, animals, no, it's just not for me. Ugh, and all these stinking dating profiles. I want a girl that's like into camping and stuff. Nah, you can take your tent poles elsewhere because I am not the one. I want someone that's like, I'd love someone to do a yacht vacation with me. I'm that girl. I am very excited for the day that I'm finally in the tax bracket of the activities I enjoy. The things that my personality enjoys, it's not the current financial situation that I'm in doesn't really cater to my preferences. But one day, mark my freaking words, it will. And I will be lounging on a yacht, and I'll be like, this is what I was made for this whole time. I was never made for camping, but because I'm in the camping, I don't know, financial tax bracket, I'm somehow supposed to like it, and it's something wrong with me that I'm not adventurous enough. I am sort of into adventure, but my adventure requires a lot of money. And it requires a lot of comfortable items for me to enjoy myself. But yeah, I'll go on like a tour of something, like a VIP tour. Take me to Disneyland on a VIP tour, absolutely. Yeah, one day I'm finally gonna match my financial situation to the wants and desires of my heart, and I look forward to that day so eagerly. But, anyways, I went to an animal park, and that was fun. We had a great time there. We drove to Mandurah. It's a city, it's like a couple hours away, and we went to this adorable miniature park. So they had all these miniature figurines and buildings and stuff, and like a miniature Eiffel Tower, and just like these big tourist destination things, and like famous buildings from England. It was so random, but so cute. They had a little mini golf and like go-kart things for kids, but of course Jatil and Mickey went on them, and it was hilarious. We had a fabulous, fabulous time. That was very enjoyable to me. I love a mini figurine. I really enjoy on Instagram the accounts where they make miniature stuff. Just these tiny little, it's basically doll houses, but they're a lot more expansive than that in what they create. There's this one in particular, this one creator. Maybe if I find her, I'll tag her on Instagram. But she makes just these teeny tiny little boxes of like scenes. So one of them was like a gym. from elementary school, just an elementary school gym closet. And it is the cutest, coolest thing ever. So I'll post that. I love watching those videos. I would love nothing more than to be taken to a miniature figurine, I don't know, like convention. That has to be a thing, right? All these people that make these like mini dollhouses that are super detailed. I would love that. I would love that. Don't take me to an animal park. Take me to a convention with a bunch of teeny tiny microscopic things. Oh, that would be adorable. There's something about it being that small and detailed, and someone had to like make that. I also enjoy, there's one TikTok account where they take miniature food items and they like animate it, so they like pretend to cook with it. This is not making any freaking sense if you've never seen these videos, but it's just so cute to see like this little hot sauce bottle, and then they like tip it over and it like one drop comes out. It's so cute. I love that. So yeah, miniature things, I'm down for the miniature vibe. So I had a great time in Mandurah going to see that. Then after we were done exploring around Perth, because there's not that much to explore around here, we went to Bali. And you guys, I had my dream vacation. It was truly the best. Went to a super nice resort, and it was so freaking cheap. In total, for 5 days and 4 nights, it cost us $200 each. That's it. Is that not amazing? And this resort had 3 pools and a private beachfront. So let me tell you what I did every day. I woke up around 9, went and got breakfast at 9:30. Now, normally I fear for the breakfast because, number one, I'm always going to be booking a place with a breakfast because I don't want to have to be adventuring right off the bat. Again, I'm not adventurous. So I don't want to wake up and have to like scavenge for food someplace and like Google search where to go eat and then find a taxi. That is not my game. No. Bed and breakfast all day. Resort preferred. Anyways, when you do that though, usually it's just a stupid English breakfast. Sorry to the English, but y'all's breakfast sucks. At least by American standards. Where's my pancakes? Where's my waffles? My French toast? Where's the syrup? The sugar? I want something sweet first thing, alright? Perk me up. I don't drink coffee, so I'm gonna need that maple syrup to do it for me. But no, you freaking beans on toast, you disgusting people. That is so nasty to me. Oh, on so many deep levels. Like, no, the beans on toast. Every single day at my accommodation, that's one of the options for breakfast is the beans. Oh, it grosses me out. I can't watch people eat them. Like, it's 7 a.m. What are you doing eating beans? With Vegemite toast? Oh my gosh, my stomach's churning. There is always that fear that if I book a breakfast, it's just going to be, scrambled eggs that look really watery, the beans and toast situation, and then like cardboard pancakes, That's happened before. But no, this place that we were at, oh, you had every option under the sun. You had the sweet things, you had crepes, waffles, pancakes, tons of different syrup options. You had pastries that were absolutely delicious. You had chocolate-filled pastries, vanilla danishes. You had an egg-making station where they can make you an omelet. You pick what you wanted. Then they had like a whole Asian section. So if you did want sushi and the rice and all that, that was all available. Then they, of course, had the beans and toast situation as well. Disgusting. And then they had cereal, they had juices, they had it all. So I'd wake up at 9, go eat breakfast. I would eat my body weight in pastries. Then, when I was full to the brim, ready for a nap after, being awake for 45 minutes, I would go get my free towels for the day. I would get 4 for myself, and I would pick which of the 3 pools or the beach I was going to sit at that day, get my little lounge chair, put it under some shade, because heaven knows I'm not going in the sun, My skin can't last 5 seconds out there, okay? That UV, not for me. So I picked my shady spot, and then there I sat, or shall I say, there I laid, until 6 p.m. for our dinner reservation. So yeah, I got out there around 10:30. I listened to audiobooks just all day. Don't ask me how Bali was, like the country itself, the place, I don't know. Was my experience in Bali incredible? Yes, it was. If you ask me, like, how was Bali, I will tell you that was the best vacation I've ever been on. If you ask me what I did, I'll say I read. Period. I sat by a beach and let the, beach wind, warm air just cocoon me into a lulled sleep while I had my audiobook playing in my ears. Oh my gosh, it was my dream vacation. That is all I want. That is all I want. I just want zero guilt, no one to bug me. Let me be. Let me just exist in the shade, in the warm air, with a book. And I don't even want it hardcover or paperback. Okay, I want it audio because I don't even want to have to open my eyes. I just want to be basically asleep for 12 hours a day. That is what I want. I don't need anything else. I really don't. So Jatil and Mickey, they did all the adventurous things. That's why a resort was such a good idea, because then they could go off and do the excursion stuff. So they went and rode elephants and parasailed, and they did like tons of adventurous stuff. Me? I read 4 books in 5 days. It was amazing. Oh my gosh, they'd come check in like every 4 or 5 hours. They'd come back from doing whatever activity, and I'd take my headphones out and be like, where have you guys been? They'd be like, oh, we went to the markets. Oh, we went parasailing. We did this, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, oh, that's so awesome. I just finished another book. Oh man, it was so great. I'd take a break at 6 o'clock. There was like 4 restaurants on the resort. So we would make our reservations, went and had dinner, take a dip in the pool. And by a dip, I do mean a dip. Like, think chocolate-covered strawberry, okay? That was me, just in human form. I was just dipping in the water. I wouldn't get my ears wet because of my headphones. Like, I didn't want my wet ears. So I would just dip in the water and then come right back out. So anytime I got, a little too hot or anything, I would just dip in, and then 5 seconds later, I'm back on my lounge chair, sleeping away with my 4 towels acting as my pillows. It was so good. It was so great. But I need to talk about the books that I read, okay? Because I started a series that will shock us all. First off, I didn't know what to read, so I figured I'd just do a quick reread to, cleanse my palate, really get me in the reading mood, zone, whatever you want to call it. So I did the last book of the selection series, which is called The One. So I just did a quick binge of that, day 1. It was good. It was a nice refresh. I didn't want to deal with the entire series because I've read it 12 times. I just wanted what I wanted, I skipped some scenes, got to the good stuff that I was there for, and immaculate. Now, my friend Taylor, who we all know, and who will be coming on the show once again for not only our 6-month catch-up, but our full review of Season 2 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, that's coming soon. We're waiting for the reunion show, and then we're going to talk all about it. We're going to do an entire episode on it. Don't you worry. But anyways, Taylor, she has been reading this series called the Zodiac Academy series. And it's a fantasy, which, as we know, also not my jam. Fantasy and animals, they go in the same camp of disinterest for me. It's just, I'm happy you like that, but not really for me. But as with all things, there are exceptions to everything. If it's a well-trained German Shepherd, or if it's a fantasy that doesn't feel like a full fantasy, I can get on board. Now, the Zodiac Academy is 26 books. I've heard of it vaguely growing up, I think, in junior high and high school and stuff, but this is my first time really hearing about this series. So let me give you a bit of a breakdown of the entire thing and where I'm at and my personal feelings. The series itself, the main core series, is called Zodiac Academy, but there is a prequel series and a series after Zodiac Academy is done. I don't know what that's called. Prelude and postlude, maybe? A postlude series? Or is that just music? Not quite sure. Because I know prequel is before whatever. There's a series after the main one is done that is also a bunch of books. It's written by 2 authors, which I actually need to do a little bit more research on how exactly they do that. I think it would be very difficult to write something with somebody else. But it really works for this series. I wonder if they each just take certain characters and they just write their perspective. I don't know. I'm very curious, and I'll probably be watching many YouTube videos in the coming days to figure out exactly how they write these series as a duo, because that's very fascinating to me. But the main story, okay? Here's my pitch for Zodiac Academy. I don't know if I'm fully pitching it to read them, but maybe this is just more of my explanation. We'll get to why I don't know if I'm fully pitching it. But here's what we've got. You have twins, Tori and Darcy. They are in the regular human world, living their lives. They're misfits, bad girls, if you will. They're basically starving. They are orphaned, living in foster care. They've been kicked out, and, they're just stealing to survive, is the vibes that we're getting, right? They're just street smart girls. And we start off with them stealing things in order to make rent that month. They're, sleeping on a ratted couch in some grungy apartment. When out of nowhere, a super, super hot man comes and tells them that they are actually mystical, magical princesses from a different realm. Now, normally this is where you lose me. Because I'm like, I don't want to go to a mystical realm. I don't want to hear about how you fought the Demigorgon. I don't care. But it feels very Harry Potter-esque. Harry Potter is one of the only fantasy series that I am so behind. I could be the back of Daniel Radcliffe's shirt, okay? I love the Harry Potter series. It is so good. The books are incredible. The movie's even better. I love it. I love, 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 love the Harry Potter series, okay? Wow, did I just say the movies were better than the books? That's not true on that one. But still, they're both fantastic. So, I like Harry Potter because it doesn't feel like too far into the fantasy realm that we've lost our grip on reality. You know what I mean? Like, Harry growing up in the regular mortal world, it grounds me in a way. And then him finding out about this magical world and kind of like teaching us, but the issues and everything just feels natural. It feels believable in a way. Whereas if I'm just entering into a story and like we're fairies or something, or like fae, I don't know. We've gone past my point of belief. Where I'm too disbelieving. It needs to be grounded in some sort of reality. It needs to be mirrored close enough to my reality in order for me to like it. I don't really like to go too imaginative, okay? I'm quite a plain Jane in that way. Let's just spice up what we already have. I don't need something new. Okay? That's how I would describe what I like as far as genre goes. So, anyways, you have these twin girls, and they find out that there's a mirror world that has magic, and they were originally born to the king and queen of this land. It's called Solaria. They were taken away to be protected. They were like sent into the mortal world, and traded with a set of mortal twins. And then the mortal twins and their parents were all murdered. Really sad to the mortal twins that they were traded for, but they were protected, and they don't know that obviously they're actually possess magic and stuff. So they're taken to this school. They're 18 years old. So it's almost like a high school, but yet they're all adults, like young adults. They're all 18, 19, 20. Like, it's like a college, but it's a boarding school. So kind of, you have the best of both worlds, where you have the boarding school, high school element, which is kind of fun. I like that in a YA, but it's an adult version of it. So all consenting and over 18, which is nice. Well, they go and they are told that if they learn about their powers and if they graduate from this school, then they can get their inheritance. And that's all they really care about. So they're like, okay, well, we're dirt poor, so let's go figure this out, and great, we'll get our inheritance. Well, they show up, and immediately upon arrival, they are the targets of severe bullying. Beyond anything you can comprehend. Like, they're trying to kill them at every turn, like these other people in the books. And it's hard to read sometimes, because I'm like, this is so terrible what they're going through. Like, these girls just literally came off the street, okay? Everyone needs to relax. They're just here for the money. But everyone's afraid that they're there to take up their rightful throne as the princesses of Solaria. And that won't do, because there are 4 heirs, spelled H-E-I-R, 4 guys that, are all godlike in appearance and so hot you can't handle, the type. So there's 4 of them, and they together have been training their whole lives to take over the throne from their parents, because when the king and queen were killed, when they were murdered, the counselors decided to join forces and just hold the throne together. So they have trained up their sons so that one day they will all rule Solaria together as 4 united men. And then, you have the twins come in, and they don't want the throne, but the heirs, they can't even have it be risked, so they try and kill them at every single turn. But they also sleep with the twins, so, there's a lot happening. As with the name of the series, Zodiac, it has to do with star signs, which, once again, I am not really a star sign girly. I don't even know what I am. A Capricorn, maybe? I don't know. Gemini? I don't know. People have told me before, and it's been, accurate before for the people that are into star signs. They've told me different things. I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds like me, but I don't know. Never gone into it. So, once again, shocking that I'm enjoying this series that not only is a fantasy, but is a fantasy about freaking star signs. Okay? I am just shook to my core how much I have enjoyed this. But I think the disbelief in the twins themselves really contributes to why I like it so much, and it's this mirror world of the world that I know. So, again, there's a lot of things that are very familiar and that feel organic and real, and then you have these magical elements, but it doesn't feel too far away from the world and reality that I live in. Does that make sense? Yes, they have these magical powers, but they also are going to classes like a normal person, and Tori, especially, one of the twins, she just thinks everything is, crazy. And when someone says something that it's that's insane, she will say what I'm thinking. Or it's that's so stupid. What do you mean? If I was finding out that someone was magical, I wouldn't just automatically be accepting of that. It'd be what? So, I do like that what I think is kind of reflected in the characters. It's also fun because every other chapter is a different person's perspective. So in the first book, it's just Darcy and Tori. So every other chapter is one or the other, and it just continues the story throughout. So I really like that. You have almost 2 plots going on simultaneously, and the perspectives of each twin are very different. So it gives a lot of depth to the story, and then each of the twins is kind of involved with two of the heirs, two of the guys. So you have four guys, two girls, and then there's actually an additional guy that's involved as well. You have a ton of tropes going on at once. You have the enemies to lovers, you have forbidden love, you have like reckless stuff. Like, you just have so many tropes happening all at the same time that it's quite enjoyable. And something that's shocking is the timeline. So books 1 through 3 are basically a 3 month period in total. So like each book is basically 1 month of time. Book one is the first like 2.5, 3 weeks of their time there. The second book is like one additional month, and then the third one is just the next month. And it's an entire book. And I'm very impressed with how they were able to take that type of timeline, like such a short amount of time, and expand it into a very well told story. I was on the edge of my seat. Like, I was having the time of my life reading books 1 through 3. Like, genuinely, so much fun. I was enjoying myself. It was just so good. The characters were so just evolving and hilarious. There have been so many times that I have laughed out loud reading this series. It's so funny. It has the whimsy and humor of like a YA novel that I read as like a guilty pleasure, but then it has the maturity of a more adult book, and then it has, some smut in there too, just to like keep it entertaining. Oh, it's so great. On my personal smut scale, I would definitely put it as like a 7, which is a lot higher than I normally read. I tend to only like 4s and 5s. If you're unfamiliar with my smut scale, it should be on my Instagram highlights, so you can check that out there. But this one, I don't know. It is pretty good. I've skipped some of the scenes just because it's just not my personal preference. I don't really like certain types of imagery or like description, but it doesn't describe it in like a very crude way, but it does happen pretty frequently. So if you are not the person that likes spice in any way, then probably not for you. But it is very entertaining. I will say, just across the board, the different dynamics between the couples and the twins themselves, like it's very fun. And having them discover their magical powers, because of course, these long lost princesses are the most powerful in the land. Duh. Can you even have two main characters if they don't possess every single power, and it's unheard of? Most people only possess like one or two elements, because you have earth, fire, water, and air, the 4 elements. Most people only possess 1 to 2. Very, very, very rarely someone will possess 3. But of course, our twins, both of them, they possess all 4. Yep, of course. They're untrained. They don't know how to harness the power. So when you have the heirs who all possess 2, they, right now, currently, as books 1 through 3, they bully them severely. But, our girls are rising up in the ranks. They're finding out how to control their power, and one day they will overtake them. But here's my current issue. I read books 1 through 3 in 3 days, so a book a day. They're about 12 hours each to like listen to. Yeah, it was fantastic. I was having the time of my freaking life in Bali. um, well, anyways, I'm on book 4 now, and I'm running into the same issue that I run into a lot with like Vampire Diaries, Gossip Girl, any of those TV shows that I've watched that is similar as far as like drama goes. Like, there's a lot of characters and different things happening. It's just so hard because we're just recycling the same plot over and over again. Like, I thought we would be past the bullying by book 4, but no, we're not. And of course, I started looking up spoilers because that's who I am as a person. Like, I can only hang on for so long without knowing. Like, I'm gonna need you to tell me when things are gonna get better. So I looked up, when certain events in the series that I'm looking forward to are going to occur. And my problem is they're telling me they're going to occur in book 9. I think you severely underestimate my ability to give up, because I will. And I think I've made the decision that I'm going to give up. I think I might just skip to the end. I think I might just read all the spoilers, watch some YouTube videos, do like some research without having to actually like read all of the additional 4 books, and I think I'm just going to jump to book 9 is my plan. I think I'll finish book 4 because I'm already halfway through. So might as well. And I am enjoying it. Like, I'm having a good time. It's a good series, do not get me wrong. I'm just not patient. I'm just not willing to spend this much of my time. I was supposed to read books 1 through 3 and then pause and read the prequel series, which is 5 books. I even bought the first one. I was like, okay, I'll pause and read it. And then I remembered, this isn't who I am. I am not a girl who can just pause mid-binge. I tried. I bought the book. And then I just, all day long, I couldn't get myself to do it. I could not get myself to switch gears from, I just binged 3 books in 3 days. And you're expecting me to switch to now read a completely different series, a prequel series, 5 books before I can get back to my main binge? No, sorry, can't do it. So then I had to go on and purchase book 4 instead. And, I don't know, I've just lost interest, kind of. It's just so long. Why? Why does it have to be this long? Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you know what I end up deciding to do, but I think at this point, yeah, I'm just gonna read all the spoilers and then just read book 9 is my plan. Taylor, I think, will stick with it all. So we'll follow up with Taylor on all of them because currently she's reading the prequel series. She read books 1 through 3. She's on book 2 of the prequels called Dark Fae, which is a reverse harem. And I don't know if I can get down with a reverse harem. I don't know. I've never done it, and apparently I'm not going to try because I just proved that I wouldn't by not reading it. Reverse harem, if you're unfamiliar, is one girl, multiple guys, and she ends up with all of them because it's called the why choose trope. Like, why do you have to choose between them? You can just have it all. And I don't know, I kind of like the idea of choosing. Maybe I'm really into monogamy. What can I say? I don't know. I think one of these days I will read a reverse harem because I do want to try it out. I want to see how I feel about that. But I think I'm so obsessive that it's like I can't be dispersing my love and affection amongst multiple characters. I need all of my obsession to be channeled towards just one couple, one man specifically. So I don't know if I could really get down with that, to be honest. Just not my vibe, Just not in my personal life. Like, that's not really what I want. Polyamory, not for me. I don't even think in a book sense that I can get down with it. If it's your thing, like, by all means, go for it, girl. But yeah, if reverse harem is your trope, love that for you. But just like how I don't really like dogs or kangaroos, like, I don't know if I'd be into that. I don't know. Only time will tell. One of these days, if one of you can convince me of a one-off harem, something that's maybe not a series, I'm willing to try it. So DM me your suggestions if you know of a really good reverse harem that isn't too big on the smut scale and isn't a fantasy. Yeah, good luck. Overall, my rating for the first 3 Zodiac Academy books, the first one was like a 5 out of 5. I freaking loved it. It was such a fun book. It really was. It was just delightful. The second one, like 4.5 out of 5. Third one, same, 4.5. Maybe I'll give a 4.25 because I was kind of pissed off at the ending of book 3. And then I haven't finished book 4 yet, but super solid series. If you are a fantasy lover, just in general, I think you would absolutely love the Zodiac Academy series. I'm just harder to convince. But the fact that I gave even just one of these books 5 stars is saying so much. And the fact that I read 3 of them in 3 days, like, that's a big freaking deal, okay? 3 fantasy books for me, that's my, like, 2-year quota fulfilled right then and there in 3 days. So, shout out to the Zodiac Academy, because they got me thinking, you know what? Fantasy ain't so bad if it's written like this. But as good as those books are, I don't know if your 26 books good. You're not worth that much of my time. Because as we know, my time's very valuable, and I'm very selective about how I spend it. But on a positive note, my room has been completely cleaned, like deep cleaned, because I love nothing more than putting in an audiobook and just going to town, cleaning and organizing, because it's like a movie is playing in my mind, distracting me while I just like vacuum. Oh, it's so good. So my room's clean. I spent 5 days on a beach doing nothing except for reading. Oh, it's just so good. It was such an amazing vacation. I'm so happy and delighted to be back. My friends stayed for a few extra days. We did some fun things, and they went back to America. Oh, I miss them already. But I'm glad that I at least had the time to hop on today and tell you all what I've been up to, all the things that I've been watching. I have a ton more to say. I didn't mean to go this long on just books and movies, but you know what? That's okay. I have lots of episodes coming because it's my break, and my plan is to record a ton of episodes so I can have them just release weekly over the next few months. So don't worry, next week we will catch up on all of my random thoughts that I've been writing in my phone over the past 5 months. So many topics to cover. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you next week. These have been my thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to Nikki.